Happy life, ditch your wife. Today on the Manspace. Welcome to the Manspace podcast. We're your hosts, Doctors Matt Brown and Rob Porter, and clinical therapist Mike Porter. Welcome, Spacemen. I didn't actually mean that. Don't ditch your wife. Unless it depends on how we talk about this. I did consider, by the way, I was like, I've been, talking with, it's just kind of funny to consider when people get into relationships when they're really unhappy. What's to wonder in my own head, what's my breaking point? Like, what's the point of where I would say, I can't be here anymore? Like anybody who gets divorced at some point reaches the point where they say, I can't be here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's never crossed my mind. Anyway, that's not the point of this episode.
No.
In fact, in theory, the point of this episode would keep you from ever reaching that point.
That's true.
Yeah.
Don't ditch your wife. That's not the point. It's just clickbait, but you're already here, suckers.
What number episode is this?
What? Oh, crap. I got to send that thing out. This is 197.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That makes me...
I thought you said like 194 last week.
No, I said 196 last week. It's like you don't even listen. That's going to be one of my feedbacks for Matt.
Matt does not listen. Because I only use one of these.
Oh.
I'm only catching half of what you say.
Oh. I just had one of the women that I supervise said she saw me on TikTok. See, guys?
Oh, nice.
Get on TikTok. Don't. Dude, I go on there sometimes to check our stats, which first of all, I don't understand the way any of it works. One of them will get like 895 views, and we have 3 that have like 6.
Dude, I took a deep dive into that a while back, and
one of them has 3 people only.
Well, what it literally means is like for YouTube, for Instagram,
yeah,
their views are like people that actually stop, and then like it'll show how much time people spent watching it. Like TikTok, it's just if it's in a feed.
Oh.
So it doesn't even mean that anybody even watched it. Like,
how do I determine it gets put into a feed?
They do, right? Like I have one on mine that I don't know what happened, but it's like almost 200,000 views.
Dang, Gina.
But the likes are like
3.
Funny.
Like when I showed my daughter, I was like, hey, I think this might be taken off. She's like, yeah, that view to like ratio is way off. Which basically just means it's popping up in people's feeds, but nobody's stopping. TikTok has a weird way of counting.
Well, what's funny is the only thing I could figure out is the 3 that have like single digit views. Those ones I actually went in and put in music in the background, but turned it all the way down because they'll say like use trending music because that's. So I did, and I just turned it down so you can't hear it.
Yeah.
And those are the ones I did the one that came out last night. I didn't put any music on it. It's back up. It was already at like 250 or something like that. So I was like, I don't get it. Whatever. Who cares? Social media is dumb. TikTok is probably stealing my information. Conspiracy. It's cloud seeding. That's what it's doing. Have you guys heard this stuff? Matt,
I had no idea that was a thing, but I did hear about it after like all the conspiracy theories about the flooding and stuff, but
it's crazy.
But isn't that like basically the same technology as what they like purported to have in the second Twisters movie?
Maybe. I didn't see it.
Where they send up, I don't even know what, but they send up something into the tornado and it changes the molecular structure.
Yes.
It just like falls, but rain seeding is like, capturing more moisture so that it lands on like places in drought, but there's also like hail damage remediation types of technologies. And I'm like,
oh,
So where's the hurricane stuff? Like, can we just send up some massive bag of hurricane
stops the hurricane
killer?
Well, that's what's
Yeah.
funny about these. I keep getting like article after article of experts saying, no, that's not what cloud seeding can't do that. One guy said the best you
do you
can
mean
hope
Twisters
for,
lied to me?
I know. The best you can hope for with cloud seeding is that it could increase chances up to 20% or something. It's like, that's the absolute best. It's not even,
No.
so it's like,
It's not
it
like
can't
it's
cause
capturing
this.
everything and dropping it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just funny. I don't know. I don't read things. People will be like, oh yeah, Rob, look at this. But I don't know. This is where this was all coming from, was because I get on TikTok sometimes now. It is fascinating to see how many people are just using AI to make videos. And actually, I've seen a number that they will take somebody else's video. There's some guy I follow who is, this was actually on Instagram, but he bought I don't know, he moved to the
Is he the
Balkans.
boat guy?
No, this is a different guy. Moved to the Balkans, and he's like building a house that he paid 5,000 euros for, and everyone there, I'm like, I want to move to the Balkans. Everyone's so nice. But anyway, I keep seeing these videos. I'm like, well, he's on day 18. Why does this video say day 104? And then I realized, oh, it's just AI. And it looks just like them. I was like, man,
They're just generating.
It's just gross. Everyone's just trying to get views. It's so gross.
Yeah.
So at the same time as I'm telling Spacemen, go on Instagram and TikTok and follow our stuff, I'm also saying, get off of social media. It's the freaking worst.
Yeah.
Anyway. And get into real life with other men. See? Look at that transition.
It was real smooth, Rob.
I know, especially when you say it like that. It sounds real creepy.
Yeah.
With other men. Well, I'll tell you this. I have a loose plan, to go and hike Mount Timpanogos with Tyler and Knipples. Knipples. When I take Whitney up to college. Because I got to get more dudes in my life. So we're gonna
Wait,
go into.
Is Tyler the superintendent?
No, he's an assistant.
An assistant superintendent.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny to like listen to the way that I was talking to him all about that, about being superintendent of a school district. He's like, it's all very. I was like, would you want to do that? He's like, I don't know. He's like, you lose your job like 3 years after you get it, because somebody doesn't like you, and it just depends on what the board wants, and the board just boosts you out, and so you're out, and then you're out of a job, and it's like, and then it's kind of weird. Like, do you go get a job somewhere else, or people are like, no, they fired you, we don't want you, or like.
No, that's the funny thing. So we had a guy that we fired from when I was in Pflugerville, from Pflugerville ISD, and Pflugerville ISD was a small school district comparatively, like particularly compared to the ones like Tyler is working at, like Granite School District.
Yeah.
Nope. He got more money to go work at a slightly smaller district in a different town because they loved that the guy had experience with a big district. And so I think, it would probably require relocation for him, but he could totally go and probably make more money than he was.
Yeah. I mean, it's
superintending. I know he doesn't care.
Everyone just love him anyway.
I know.
So, Spacemen, what we're actually talking about today is that you need to hang out with dudes more.
And don't go jump over to this podcast, but I saw an advertisement for I don't know what movie or show these guys were in. They look super familiar, but it's some sci-fi show. But they have a new podcast called Once We Were Spacemen.
What?
Yeah.
Now I gotta see what this is.
Don't look it up, Mike. You just said don't go.
I know. I'm not going to their show. Oh, look, it came up. It's like it knew.
You're not obedient.
Nope.
You're going to be
deranked. Those are two good guys.
Yeah.
Who?
It's Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion.
Of course. They're from Firefly.
Yeah.
Serenity.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I freaking love those guys.
Yeah.
They're so funny.
That's probably why they're doing it Dude, we just got to get a famous person on here. How do we get somebody famous? In one of my
Let's try and get Alan Tudyk or Nathan Fillion.
I recently added Blink-182. We'll see what happens there. So
I'm sure they'll follow back.
I'll just wait for them to go ahead and say something. Oh, hey, what's this podcast? So this is the basis. I did find the thing that, I think this is the basis of what I was talking about, but then Matt found a good article that we'll talk about. Because I wonder, we've already talked many times about how one of the biggest problems for men is loneliness. And since Mike had the genius idea of moving to Kansas freaking City, I get real lonely.
Bump kisses. What is it?
Bumpuses.
Bumpuses.
Bump kisses.
I couldn't remember. I knew it was
bubkiss is a
Bupkis?
phrase for like
For
Like I got
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
so it kind of worked.
Yeah, whatever. So I saw 2 articles that were like this, that men need romantic relationships more than women do. So,
Need romantic relationships more than women do?
yes. Stay with me. Riddle me this, boys. I don't think this is some deep secret. Why would you say that's true?
Well, generally speaking, and it probably could be partly related to not having friends too, but single guys generally don't fare super well health-wise or emotionally or
Yeah, that's true.
pretty disconnected.
It's the safe way we get intimacy and vulnerability.
That's actually, sorry, Matt, Mike wins. That's
It's
the
okay.
one.
Delta Force wins.
That's the thing that multiple articles, and one of them was a meta-analysis, but one of them, this is a different one, but he cites a couple different things. So just saying that women don't have to rely as heavily on a romantic relationship for emotional intimacy, but men, that's like our only outlet, which is a real bummer because we're not even doing it there. Let's be honest. Which means we're just not doing it.
And
That's
that
all.
today is the message.
Join us
I'm
next
not ready to do it today. So, I mean, it does. There's a study they cite here. Single men feel emptier and less complete than single women do, because men don't have anything like that. We don't have any way of connecting. In the face of crushing loneliness, we rely on romantic partners, and then, of course, we mix that with like sex, and so we're awesome like that. So, here's though what I was thinking about, like, because when I read this, I was like, I don't know. I know in my life, all the special people in my life. Name that movie. No? It's the way he phrases it. It would be the kicker. It's Lego Movie.
If you're recording Lego Batman, maybe.
No. So, that reminds me, by the way, guys, if you have not seen Phoenician Scheme,
Not yet.
you should see it. Michael Cera is phenomenal. He's so good, dude. Because of that, we went and rewatched Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh yeah,
he's so good in that too. Man, that's a. Also, did you know that Edgar Wright? Oh, sorry, I'm totally derailing this. Who was he working? There's some movie coming out. This Edgar Wright. I was like, I need to see that. You guys don't
I know about this. No, I do.
Do you, Mike?
Yeah,
Let's
I
let
just can't
Spacemen
remember.
listen to us think.
I think I'm just going to Google it.
Oh yeah, well I'm googling it faster. Except I typed in Wedger. Now I feel like an idiot. Everyone knows I'm an idiot. That's going to be my feedback.
The Running
Rob's
Man?
an idiot.
Baby
Yes!
Driver 2.
Running
Yeah.
Man. Because it's him
Yeah,
and Chad
which
Radwell.
Sure.
That's just what I call him.
Him and Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell, Chad Radwell.
Yeah. It seemed like an odd, because I don't really know anything about the first movie other than it was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, is this his remake?
Is this his remake?
Oh, all right.
And
It's a Stephen King story, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to see it. So, I digress. here's what I was wondering, and we kind of were getting into this before, and then we'll get into the stuff that Matt read in his study. But I'm curious, like when I think about my life, I think I actually have, like, I was saying something to a client today about how my vacations have kind of sucked lately, because when my wife's not there, it feels like I'm taking my kids on vacation, and I have to like find ways to entertain my kids, and so this feels like a bunch of work.
A trip.
And so he was like, well, you went to Disneyland and you went out with your band. And I was like, oh yeah, that's true. I did. I forgot that part. And then I was thinking about, in this study that I was like, well, is it that we don't have relationships we can rely on, or are we just not using them? Because I actually think I have a number of relationships that if I would ask for help, or if I would open up and be the guy initiating, I think they would reciprocate. But some of my closest friends, it's like once every 9 months at best that we talk to each other. Yes, Mike, you clearly already want to disagree.
It's not that I disagree.
This is why I don't open up to you. As soon as I throw something out, you're like, no, Rob, stupid. And I'm like, okay, never mind. That's my feedback for you, Mike.
That sounds just like me.
I'm going to let all my feedback
3 weeks early. Cool.
It's just going to trickle out week after week.
No, the thing that's interesting to me, and like, because we were talking about this before we started, this idea of, most men have them, they don't use them.
Yeah.
And so when you set up as I talk to a lot of men and talk about like, hey, what's important for you as you like identify yourself as an individual? Like, what are the things that are important to you? And they're like, well, I want to be the guy that someone can rely on. And I think, okay, then does my ability to reach out to these guys and say, hey, can you help me out, say something about the level of friendship or about how they identify as a man? Because I think, no, if that's the case, they'll probably say yes to anybody. And it's not really indicative of the relationship. And my argument is the fact that I'm not willing to ask them says quite a bit about the relationship, more so than their willingness to accept and be willing to help. Does that make sense? It makes total sense up here.
I mean, it does. There is something that makes sense to me, the idea that men want to be the one relied on.
Yeah.
But I don't know that that's one of the factors that stops me from asking my friends for help. Is it changes the way I think I'm viewed in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I was trying to think through my head, like, well, is that saying that no, men don't have, like, I feel like I can think of, I could probably list off probably 10 dudes right now that if you said, Rob, could you count on that person if you needed something? I could list off 10 dudes to say that those dudes, no question, I could count on them. You were 2 of them.
So
I won't tell you
Mike
who's on
is
top.
2 of them, or together we are 2. It just sounded weird the way you said it, like right to him.
Right. What are we getting into my weight today, Rob? Jeez.
I think my favorite is that Matt sounded genuinely like, Mike is 2 of them. He just sounded.
The reason I thought of it was the reason I thought of, I saw some post the other day that was like generational responses to the question, like, am I fat? And like the boomer one was like, yeah, you could probably lose a couple pounds, and the millennial was like, I mean, whatever, dude, it doesn't matter, just don't worry about it. And then the Gen Z was like, we don't body shame, and kind of like all this like building up. The Gen X was like, I know 5 fat people and you're 4 of them.
I love that old joke. Anyway, so like I think I feel like I know too. I have a bunch of friends that it's like I find out they go on like dude trips with their friends once a year, and they go hang out and they go golf or they go whatever they do, like they go hike and I think I would bet that if I asked them, if you needed something, could you go talk to them and say I need help? And I think most people would say yes, I could. And if I said would you, they'd be like, no, I won't.
Well, I think that, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Matt. Mine's not a fully formed thought yet. I don't
No,
think.
I was going to
Oh.
say, I think it hinges on the first part of the question, right? Like, when do you in fact register that you need help? And probably never. So it's like, yeah, in the hypothetical scenario where I would actually need help, sure, I'd ask those guys. But like most of us don't even register our need.
That's true. Maybe that's the problem, is that we
Yeah.
don't rely because we don't recognize, hey, I'm not
We
doing well.
constantly ignore that feeling. Yeah.
Well, and still not fully formed, but here we go. Like,
Great.
I know. So you're just gonna get me stumbling through stuff.
That's what I always do.
I know. So it's
You've noticed?
yes. No, I thought you said that's what I always do, and I thought I know that's what I always do. Like I'm well aware that that's how I process things. No, this like I was just talking to a guy who just happened to like a couples retreat, whatever. Anyway, they were all together with friends, and he's mentioned in the past, like, there's oftentimes that as we're just kind of hanging out in those situations, we'll start talking about real things.
Yeah.
And so I think, yeah, they do ultimately talk about their problems. Do they do it in a therapy kind of way? No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But they'll still bring stuff up.
Yeah.
Now, is it as often as it's needed? Probably not. But again, I think no, in those, because they're doing these kinds of things consistently, because most people that I know that do these kind of, like, a boys' weekend or whatever, they do them fairly consistently. And I think, yeah, at some point you do that often enough, stuff's going to just come out because you're spending time together, and that's how things come out. Like, my two best friends in high school were Jerem Bagley and Mark Ward. Neither of them were overly emotional guys. Certainly, I never would have gone to them and be like, "Hey guys, I'm having a really hard time. Can we talk about it?" I wouldn't have done it because I would have thought I would have been made fun of. And yet, we often had conversations like that because we were together all the time. It wasn't a formal thing. It just, the longer you're talking, the more often you end up wandering into areas where it's like, yeah, this thing's really hard for me. And like, I remember having one conversation with Jerem and him just being like, yeah, me too. And in my head, I remember thinking, what? Like, I thought that was just me. And certainly not Jerem, but does that, like, to me, I think, yeah.
It does make sense. I kind of feel like, so wait, you're saying men do have these relationships and they do rely on them?
Yes. And still no. Like, I think, because like, this kind of goes back to what was the one article, right? Like, go drinking with your friends twice a week. What is it?
We haven't gone to that. This is spoiler alert.
I know.
Sorry, Spaceman.
I know. Sorry, Spaceman. But
Just kidding, Matt.
Don't hit the Dunbar. Wait.
John
to me,
Dunbar.
I think that's part of why that works. Like, for someone who does not go and spend consistent time with their friends, no, I don't think they're going to reach out to their friends when their back is against the wall. The three of us, like, I'm the same. I could put together a list of people that I would, without hesitation, reach out to. But among the three of us, we spend so much time together, it doesn't actually feel like reaching out and asking to help or for help when I ask you guys something.
You're talking about us three?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when
check it.
No, yeah.
Did it again? Wait a minute, me?
Yeah. Rob does not count as two people in this scenario. It's only I count as two people. No, but it doesn't feel like I'm reaching out and asking you guys for help. Right? We've gotten to a point in this relationship and in this friendship where I think, no, this is just, like, we'll just kind of be like, oh my gosh, here's this thing that happened. And I mean,
crack cocaine that happened.
Right. I look back at some of our, or I think back to some of our text threads and things that we've reached out to each other about. And I think, no, I know lots of dudes who would not comfortably talk about that with their friends. And yet we do.
Right.
And I think it's because, yeah, we spend, and admittedly, like, I think the fact that we're all therapists helps, but I think
help me.
I think it has.
Was that an AirPod?
No, you remember doing this so you get Mike's in the middle of some deep point.
Rob's
Remember
blowing stuff in the air.
You remember your gum wrappers that you wrap around your finger?
Yeah.
It was one of those. I shot it up.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
Well, I don't know. I don't think you need to apologize. I don't know if you can continue your statement.
I'm sorry, because I can't stop laughing about it. So dumb. No, but I think given the amount of time we spend together, I think that's why we can do it.
Yeah.
Well,
where
I
think as I think through my friends and people that I'm going to reach out to and ask for help. Like I said, with you two, it doesn't feel like I'm reaching out and asking for help.
Yeah, we're the brain trust.
I think I think the combination of interactions, right, just makes that possible because our man poet Robert Bly tells us. I keep thinking about this line, and I don't take it in the context of like he's talking about ministers. And
wait, can I point out for a second that Matt just did the old man? I seriously cannot see.
I do it like crazy. I just bought.
I do it all the time.
So excited about my new readers.
There you go, buddy.
There we go. All right, now it's official.
Makes you look so much smarter.
He says he's talking about ministers. That's the first part of the sentence, but he says that ministers, the male minister, gives up his longing for solitude, which I think is what most guys. That's like the first thing they crave, right? I need solitude because I've been, in the thick of work, family, all that stuff. So the first thing I do is retreat. But then he says, and he gives up his longing for the harshness and zaniness of male companionship. And I think that's what we get when it's just us hanging out, right? Like right in the middle of a deep moment, Rob's blowing stuff in the air. Like if you don't have all of that, and particularly like that phrase or that word zaniness, right? When you just think of like, it's dumb, it's crazy, it's like, you don't really know what's going to happen. I think there's something safe about that and predictable and comforting that, again, I think a lot of women in their attempt to help us get to the deeper part view that as an obstacle, but they don't really know the connection that's happening there, and that's the connection that makes it safe to say, hey man, get that thing out of your mouth, I got a problem.
Well, Matt, tell us what because Mike's referencing it, that other study from Oxford.
Yeah, maybe we should take that into account as we interpret. But no. So it says this is a study by Robin Dunbar, psychologist from Oxford. But
you guys don't know what I'm talking about? John Dunbar.
I do, but I can't think of what it is.
John Dunbar.
John Dunbar.
John Dunbar.
Dances with Wolves.
Oh, right.
Did I tell you that's my friend in high school? That was his aunt.
Oh yeah. I knew that.
Stands with a fist. That was
Madeline
his aunt.
Stowe.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
No, that's not Madeline Stowe, is it? Anyway.
Is Madeline Stowe from Last Mohicans?
She's from Last Mohicans, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, go ahead, Matt.
My friend's favorite line of any movie ever is in that one. And he used to shout it at me across Rick's college campus all the time.
Put that in your
What
book.
was it?
The Shumani Tutanka Owachi. That's what he would yell all the time. It's the thing that as he's at the end of the movie, yelling, as he's leaving.
You're my friend. You'll always be my friend, or whatever.
Yeah. And so my friend,
I thought that involved it in a chichimielo. I'd yell that out to people.
I can't. Like, all I remember is
I used to do the same thing. Chichimielo.
like I would hear from across campus, Shumani Tuzankowachi, and I would turn and look, and there would be my friend just yelling it as loud as he could across like the quad to me, and I'd just be like, dude.
Single tear.
So awesome.
All right.
That was Mark Ward, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mark Ward used to
all
shout
right, Matt,
that.
Now we're ready for John Dunbar.
Okay, so this study suggests that men need to spend time with their close friends at least twice a week to maintain good physical and mental health. These guys' nights are important for strengthening social bonds, reducing stress, and even improving recovery from illness. Okay, like the breakdown is twice a week is key. That was the optimal frequency for these social gatherings. Focus on close friends. It said not just casual acquaintances. Activities matter. The study suggests that engaging in activities together, whether it's sports, grabbing a drink, or just hanging out, is beneficial. See, drink store.
See?
The benefits.
See, it works.
These social interactions have been linked to lower levels of depression and anxiety, faster recovery from illness, and increased overall well-being. And apparently there's an endorphin release. Yeah.
It's funny because it doesn't. I think you're right, Mike. I mean, I do think and maybe I'm lucky. Relationships have always mattered a ton to me. I was telling Mary Ann this recently that like my whole life I've known that if there's something I got to go do, I need a wingman. Like in any situation, I need to feel like I know I have this person. And when I got married, I think in tons of cases, it's my wife. But I've realized there are some things, as we've talked about many times on the show, like there's times when it's like, no, I need somebody, I need a dude who understands what it's like to be a dude. I can't, if I tell this to my wife, she can have empathy for me, but she's also going to be like, what? I'm like, you don't, this is how men's brains work. Okay. And I think I've told you guys, sometimes I'll tell her things that we've said, jokes that we've said. And she'll be like, yeah, I think that's a dude joke. And I'm like, but it was so funny. It's like, you don't get it. But I think like these relationships, I'm always surprised sometimes. And this is where I think maybe it's that we don't rely on these things. Like some of my closest friends, I think sometimes I forget how close of friends they are because I talk to them like once a year. But then when we're together, it's like I feel just as close to them, but I don't think of talking to them. I think that proximity, that like going out with them, and we have to get in the second part of this, Matt, because it's like if we told men, hey, go hang out with each other more, the dude you're referencing, that's like, I don't know how that's going to go over. Like, I don't know that I literally could have, we do this once a week, which I guess I was realizing as we were doing this, like, oh, I guess this would count as that.
Yeah.
Especially that, not Mike.
Although ironically, we do it during our workday.
Yeah. But even that, I don't think it has to be a guy's night. I think it just has to be like if we were just going to lunch together,
working out together, or and
anything. That's why. Yeah. I have a friend who's always trying to ask me to lunch. He's just always asking me on Fridays, and I'm like, dude, I'm not done till like 2 or 1. Like I go straight through, so no. But he's always like, let's go to lunch. I'm like, no. But like, and it is different. I think that part of like, it's got to be people like connecting with people that are you're close to, because then it makes it easier to branch into. Yes, Mike?
Go ahead and finish your statement.
Well, just to branch into it would more naturally move into the deeper informal reliance on each other. Yes, Mike?
So here's my only caveat to that, because
great.
I know.
Caveat boy over here.
It's exactly. It's one of my favorite words.
Anyway, it was my nickname in high school. Caveat boy.
Caveat boy.
Hey, everybody, it's Caveat boy.
That sounds dirty. No, the thing about it to me because I've talked to some guys and if they, you know, like, hey, do you have any close friends? And their answer is no. Or, you know, like, well, yeah, like the person I'm closest to is, you know, lives far away. Like they live in another state. They live, you know, a couple hours from the house. Like it's not someone I can get together with easily, often, kind of thing. And so my one statement there is like, yeah, you can't get to the point of having like a deep friend or a close friend without passing through the awkward earlier phases. And so, no, your initial hangouts, yeah, you might not be besties with them.
Right.
That's fine. Still go.
Sure.
It's still going to have benefits. Like, don't be listening to us and hear, you know, like you should be hanging out with close friends. I don't have any close friends. Okay, well, you're not going to get any if you don't start doing this kind of stuff. Like, you've got to engage to get to the point.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I don't mean to say don't hang out with acquaintances. There's plenty of people that I hang out with that are probably. I wouldn't mind going further than acquaintance, but I have, as you guys both know, sometimes I have a resistance to it,
an intimacy issue,
a resistance to going beyond acquaintances.
Yeah, into intimacy.
Oh. Into me, see.
What is that from?
It's a lot of people say that's like the true definition of intimacy, right? It's
intimacy.
I'm going to allow you to intimacy.
So, Matt, as much as you can remember, who is this guy that you were saying he's like a podcaster that we shouldn't go?
It's Chris Williamson on the Modern Wisdom podcast, but his comment was like, I can't imagine women getting behind that idea.
Yeah,
but I also, and I don't know, maybe guys would resist in different ways. You know, if the women in their life were like, I need, 2 nights out with my friends or whatever. But, and again, like you said, does it have to be a night? Like, it kind of reminds me of that study, the like the family dinner study, right? Where it's like, it has a greater buffering effect against like all the delinquent behaviors and all these things than anything else. And everybody kind of like takes that, oh crap, we got to all like have dinner together. But when you drill down into the study, it's like the effect was there, even if it was just one parent and that parent was pissed off the entire meal, and it didn't have to be dinner. Yeah. It's like, okay, so that's a little bit more realistic, and like you can aim for an ideal, but yeah, what if it's time with close friends, period? And I mean, they're saying the activity matters, but then they listed like a bunch of activities where I'm like, I don't know how these hang together.
Well, yeah, some of them I was like, why is that considered an activity?
Right. I think it's just more like we're going, and I think this is true for men. It's like we have to have something to do, right, to get into that space of hanging out. It's not just like, hey, do you want to just come sit on my couch and talk to me? That will happen, but it's because we're watching a game, or it's because we are, doing something. So I think that's like maybe a more natural is we have something that we're doing. But it makes me wonder, like, as community has broken down, how many of these things were just happening anyway? And now we have to like emphasize them as some new thing we have to add back in, just because of the way life has gone and how busy things have gotten, and like how we've become like really insular with our nuclear family, and everything is about like the nuclear family, like the kids. If you're not checking all those boxes first, then something like this just gets viewed as a luxury, and technically it is, I guess, given the way that we do things. But and I don't want to state this naively, because I realize we have to make money, but like, I watched this documentary on Bhutan, and one of the prime ministers, I don't remember what the title was, but it was basically like a king. So yeah, I think it was a king, and then they eventually developed a government with a prime minister. But one of the kings was interviewed about, like, in the 80s maybe or 90s, about like the country and production and stuff, and someone asked, like, what's your gross domestic product and what are you doing to increase that? And he's like, we actually focus on generating gross domestic happiness.
Oh, I feel like I remember.
So he kind of like coined this phrase.
Yeah.
And the documentary showed how that kind of became this like, cultural, it was already there, but then it kind of, put a label on it. And then, recently people are leaving for jobs, outside the country. And it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe we do need to focus a little bit more on, developing the economy as well. But I think we're probably like the exact opposite case, where so much of our thought process as men is like, is it efficient? Is it producing something? Is it solving a problem? Is it, instead of like, how am I doing? Like,
yeah.
And why can't that matter just a little bit more than it does now, right? And I think we resist it pretty quickly with like, well, what I got to do all this other stuff, and I got, and it's, I hate it. I feel it all the time, and it's a really big wave to push back on, to say my happiness matters, just as much, and probably goes hand in hand with my productivity and all these other things. But we try to just get by as long as we can on like nothing to produce more and more and more, right? And so things like this just sound like, yeah, that's a luxury. And if I get some quiet time, like scrolling my phone, taking a dump, that's good enough.
That's funny, because I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Like, I think I told you guys, I feel like I'm kind of leaning into like lazy Rob for right now. It's like my brain seems to keep fighting me from like, well, I should be doing this and this. It's like, whatever, man, just watch a movie. So I'm like, cool. Mm-hmm. Like hoping that by doing this, maybe I'll kind of like almost like get the summer out of my system and then be like, okay, let's get back to work. Like I want to start doing some more stuff instead of like, I have to do this, because I think there is that. And this is what I think makes it hard. If Chris Williamson, which is funny, I was thinking, I don't really actually know who that guy is. It seems like my kids asked me. And I was like, no, like, you don't know who he is. He this. And then it was like saying, dude, like he's totally, a controversial guy or something. Or
he does. Yeah. I don't know that I would call him controversial, but I think he asks really good questions, but he reminds me, his hair's different now, but he had like a buzz cut. That's like what Ty had when I first met him.
Yeah.
He just reminds me of like British Ty. Like just his like mannerisms and the way that he talks. I'm like, dude, it's British Ty.
Well, it's funny because, even controversial, I don't like, some people consider Jordan Peterson controversial. I'm like, why? He says good stuff. Some stuff he says isn't great. Yeah. Like, but we have
that's
this whole
true
thing.
Of anybody.
Yeah. Right. But we have this thing now where it's like, well, if they said something bad, that means you think this and you align with that guy. It's like, no, I think this thing he said was good. Let's just say that. But just thinking about that, like, there's a balance to be struck. I don't, I think it's possible to do, I think you'd have to be creative if you were going to do 2 nights a week or 2 times a week to hang out with your friends and connect. And creative might be, we went for 20 minutes and went and got drinks at the drink store, like, or we even just texting, like having the Manspace text that we have is helpful, because it's like, well, we can just shoot crap in there. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's, like, I need help with this. That's the way I think of interacting, of keeping consistent interaction. Because I don't think it's being realistic to say, well, I have guys night twice a week, babe. Sorry. Like, because if you got kids, it's like, you put the kids to bed. I got to go out with my guys. The doctors have said it would be helpful for both of us if I do this.
But that's also the ideal according to this study, right? And I think that's like the wrong starting place. It's like, where are you at now, and what would be a step in that direction, and what's the impact of that, right? Because any study is just going to tell you the average benefit of the group they studied. So 2 nights is not some magical thing that if you're not hitting it, you're not going to see any benefit. But Yeah, if you're like, yeah, I haven't talked to my friends in like 2 years. Okay, we'll start with talking to your friends. Like, do something to move in that direction, and who knows, you might get just as much benefit as the people in this study by getting together with people once a month or something.
Right. Well, I feel like I do wish some of these people that, like my band, it was like getting together with them. It's like, oh man, I didn't realize you guys are really important to me.
Mhm.
or like Knipples and Tyler, or like there's people where when I get together with them, it's so easy. I'm like, oh, I need more of this. It's not really possible. I probably need to do a little more in other ways, but it's like even that is still something,
Mhm.
right? Just to say, hey, it reminds me, like, just knowing I have other people besides my wife that I could go and say, hey, you guys know this thing? And they'll be like, yeah, totally, dude.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of, I was thinking of this too. It's kind of nice that I wouldn't with other dudes. You don't have to explain. It's like, you know how like sometimes this, and you don't really have to say it. And it's like, yeah, like, or they'll make fun of you and be like, you idiot. Yeah, me too. But like, but I also thought too, it's like, even if you can't go hang out, like maybe go join some group you could volunteer with where there's a shared purpose in doing something. Cause it's like, I don't know, something that feels like, well, I don't have to go and talk on the couch, but I do something bigger than me that's connecting me with other people that, like you're saying, Mike, could be an acquaintance now, but could become something more.
Well, I think too, there's something to be said for, like, I remember when I was.
Yeah. Why he got loud?
You got real loud, dude. And when
Oh,
you
did
breathed
I?
in, a little while ago, it was like,
Yeah, your volume went up, but it's
it's
okay.
like the Jack Palance.
There we go. How's that? Is that?
Keep going.
I don't know. No, all I was thinking was, well, no, all I can think about is breathing like Jack Palance.
Sounds good. Today on the
Yeah,
Manspace.
seriously, like, oh no, it was like I meet lots of guys who, are like, well, but I don't have time, and I'll challenge them to kind of look at their schedule and, like, typically our bodies will only and our minds will only take so much, and then our body or mind will force it. Like I remember when I was earning my clinical hours and in school and teaching and working a side gig, Wednesday, like I had classes on Monday night. I did, supervision and clients on Tuesday night. And so Wednesday night was the first night that I could really sit down and kind of read articles for whatever thing I had to write that week.
Boring.
I know. And usually what would happen on Wednesdays is I would sit there because it was the first time I had been off all week. And so I would sit there with my laptop in my lap and I would, like, stare at the screen and get distracted by what was going on around me, or I would fall asleep, or like I would end up, getting sucked into some TV show. And it took me months to realize, like, there's just Wednesdays weren't going to work. And I just started saying, fine, Wednesdays is my day off. Like, I'm not going to do grades when I get home. I'm not going to do, I'm not going to try to read articles when I get home. I'm just going to give myself the day off, because my body was taking it anyway. Like, my body was like, dude, you've pushed too hard. We can't do this for another day. Like, you need to decompress. And so, to me, chances are you're taking it anyway. Somewhere you're getting stuck on your phone and you're sitting there for an hour doing nothing productive because you're just swiping Instagram or TikTok or whatever on your phone. And you're getting to the end of the hour and then you're being like, oh, I can't believe I wasted all that time. Yeah, you're taking the time anyway. So be intentional about it. Like, go to lunch, trade the hour with lunch with a friend, or go to dinner, right? And then it's not 2 nights a week or whatever. But it's, pay attention because your body's going to take it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say, that goes back to what Matt's saying, that we don't always know. I don't think we're always registering. Hey, I think maybe I need help.
Yeah.
Like, and help doesn't mean I need a shoulder to cry on. Help might just mean like, I need to not do something. That's like when I say I'm leaning into the summer of Rob, where it's like, I'm watching movies. It's like, it feels like my brain is saying, stop it, dude. I'm not going to work anymore.
Yeah.
So it just stopped. So it's like, okay, I got to figure this out a different way then. Like maybe I need help. Maybe I need to go on more trips. Bros trip when we come into Kansas City.
Oh yeah, I got to get you guys dates for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're out of summer, baby. I don't know what
I
to
know.
tell you.
Well, I think summer was a long shot
Yeah,
anyway.
I think we were thinking fall anyway.
Yeah,
I want to remind you that I just called you baby.
I know.
That's the kind of intimacy, spaceman, that you can reach when you do what we say.
So join us next time.
Join us next time on the Manspace. Call me baby.